I'm going to do all the talk in 10 minutes now.
Great.
I'm told we only have lunch after me, so.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just relax.
Everyone ready?
Let's go.
Where's the wine?
Let me look here. Oh, and yeah, I guess we're get all the lights off up here. I better be good now after all this anticipation. Holy smokes. So welcome to the keynote, everybody. I'm Terrence, and I'm going to talk about revolution, excellence, and agility, all related to creative industries and collaboration amongst academics and production video games and films. So, I am the Director of Creative Industries, which is game design and interactive media. Did have my coffee. Game design and interactive media at Northeastern University's College of Arts, Media, and Design. See, I said that without even looking at the slide. So I wanted to thank this gentleman here, thank you, Franco, for having me here. It's a great privilege to be at ICEA and in Istanbul. It's been a wonderful week. Is anyone else a little tired? What was the few that are awake? And at the very end of the talk, I have a little secret prediction of my own. So if you manage to stay awake and are here at the end of the talk, you'll find out what's in the secret box. Why what? Why you have to stay awake? So you should know I have a very inclusive worldview in general. I'm going to give you some background on me and how I came to be. I've traveled a lot as an artist, a producer, and more recently an academic lecturer. And all of the really incredible, interesting uniqueness of cultures that I've encountered really empowers and excites my own creativity. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. And over the last 20 years, I've really witnessed a dramatic change in the convergence and collaboration amongst all kinds of different areas. And so that's going to be my focus today. I thought it was important to put in context my own personal background and experience, even before I met this lovely wife here. I didn't get into anything good yet. So I am a full-time associate professor in the academic world now, directing creative industries. But along the 20 years before that, I had many different production titles and roles that I'll talk a little bit about. So I've been particularly lucky to work in many different fields, sharing technology and techniques and skills. These are just some of them here, kind of going from one to the other at random times over the last 20 years. And now it's great to be able to share that with my students. So, oh, yeah, that's a good projector. Good color. So just a few of the films that I've worked on personally as an artist. About 20 of them. This one was particularly fun. I restored frame by frame Jimi Hendrix sequence from the original Woodstock, which wasn't in the original Woodstock, on 16mm film. That was a lot of fun. The other ones are pretty commercial. What else? A lot of feature animated film, short animated films. That's my Bunky Boo up there. South Park. Video games, all as an artist, supervisor, producer. And did anyone happen to attend? I know one person probably, or two probably did. Or three definitely did. SIGGRAPH 2006 in Boston. Sue and Cynthia and Dana. No one else? Great. So, in the spirit of ICEA, my technology artistic side, I designed and worked with some friends at Pixar. Everyone knows Warren and Rachel Carpenter? They did the old Palm thing. Anyway, the world's biggest interactive etch-a-sketch. So this scale is appropriate. This is not photoshopped. This is at the beginning of the animation theater, the electronic theater at SIGGRAPH. So we had audience participation where half the audience controlled the right knob and the other half controlled the left knob, and had them spontaneously wave their arms to control the knobs and try to trace objects. It was quite hilarious. A lot of fun. After 2006, I was asked to be the 2010 conference chair. So did anyone go to LA in 2010? The same 3 people, right? That's okay. It's a long way away. But I mentioned it particularly because I want to start by talking about collaboration and convergence. So I think I had a few more people to help than Franco and Osmond left, right? You were like, what's that? Yeah, just a few more, right? You can't read this. Well, you actually kind of can. So ultimately, as the conference chair, this infographic is basically, I started, conference time is 12 o'clock. If you go backwards counterclockwise, 3.5 years, I started with a conference manager alone. And then we gradually added directors, committee chairs, subcommittee chairs, volunteers, blah, 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 all the way around. So we added up to about 789 people. 789 people to put on the conference. You could use a few?
Yeah, next time.
Next time? So just the collaboration was awesome. It was unbelievable. It was so much fun. Artists and technology people, research scientists and production folks, and just really, really incredible. All working together to a common goal. Yeah, so we worked a total of about 205,000 hours to put on 5 days. There's 23 people a year worth of work to put on 5 days of conference. Which is, talk about collaboration. So I'm going to illustrate how traditional collaboration translated into digital cooperation, and why that was a bad thing, what that difference is. So collaboration good, cooperation not so good, and how we're getting back by using revolution, excellence, and agility in the creative industries. That was the point of my whole talk. I thought this was funny. So, convergence and collaboration. So, I'm going to take a little bit to explain what I think collaboration is. and no, I was just about to say this should be a collaborative talk too. So, anyone who disagrees with something I say or has a question, please spontaneously raise your hand. But for instance, collaboration is not about integration. That's one thing that's important to point out. For instance, movies and games, to me, as artistic media, are very distinct. And I'm not interested in talking about or helping to facilitate moving those two media together. I don't want to have interactive movies, for instance. So cooperation has to result, let me say it differently. Collaboration must result in something greater than the sum of the parts. Does that make sense? So cooperation is just handing something off from one to the other. Someone else told me that if it's cooperating, you can literally step from one person's shoes to the next, kind of along an assembly line. You just kind of cooperate one after another, linearly. So why is this significant to even point out this difference? I hope it will become clearer as I go along. Because collaborating, which is the good part of what I'm talking about, collaborating in film, especially, has been going on for a very, very long time. From the very beginning, directors found out almost immediately that it would be a really good idea to collaborate with a cinematographer, have somebody else worry about the camera, have somebody else do the filming, and have the director concentrate on everything. So I came up with an example to illustrate this. So I did not work on this one. I'm not that old yet. I turned 45 yesterday, by the way, speaking of my birthday. So everybody remembers Kong, 1933, right? So about collaborating, again. So this is the entire credits list of the visual effects crew of King Kong 1933. A whole crew. And for you film buffs, you'll recognize some very famous names up there like Willis O'Brien, who trained Ray Harryhausen, Linwood Dunn, famous optical effects person. So, fast forward to 2005. I did not, again, happen to work on this one. Lots of my friends did, though. But to illustrate, the visual effects crew. That's A through E. That's M. You get the idea. W and rest. So that's just the visual effects crew for Kong 2005. So 537 people. So the collaboration, the importance today of creating media is becoming exponentially more important. I thought that was an interesting way to illustrate that. So what I'm going to do now is go through some personal stories, I hope they're interesting, about collaborative experiences that I found particularly fulfilling and fun. Hook was my first feature film that I worked on personally in 1991. And I was an effects animator, so hand by hand drew with a digital paint system some pixie dust. With Spielberg's famous compliment to me on my shots was, "Great, more pixie dust," which was kind of the last thing I wanted to hear. And I apologize due to our technical difficulties. I did not have our movie clips, so if you just close your eyes and imagine this amazing movie clip from Hook. There was a really beautiful scene actually with, has everyone seen the movie? Hook? It's kind of, well, silly, I
I did not see it.
Oh, it's a wonderful movie.
Maybe I'm just thinking if you have it, maybe some of us with Max could show it over lunch.
Maybe so. It's a beautiful shot. But basically, there's a shot of Robin Williams, who's Peter Pan. He's flying over these clouds, and the clouds part, and he dives down into Never Never Land, which is an island. And it was an incredible collaboration amongst traditional matte painters, which painted on glass on this huge painting. It was digitally photographed and scanned, and 2.5D, called Make Sticky, wrapped on 3D geometry of Alias. We had the motion control, fiber-filled clouds that were shot. It was really amazing. So you had artists and technicians from all kinds of different fields, all working collaboratively on individual shots. Shortly after we started Jurassic Park, who maybe more people have seen, the original Jurassic Park. Yeah. And that was fantastic. Most of you probably heard the general story that it was originally going to be done traditional stop motion animation, like the old King Kongs. Friends of mine did a CG test for Spielberg, and he said, "That's it. We're never going to use stop motion again. We're going to do it all digital dinosaurs." And Phil Tippett's crew was heartbroken, of course. They just saw an end of an era. What are they going to do? But we found out, and I left shortly after pre-production, so I didn't work hands-on in the film. But it was really amazing because they had to find the best animators in the world still to do the work, and the best animators in the world were Phil Tippett's stop-motion animators. So, again, talking with collaborating with technology and art, the collaboration. What they did was they took the traditional stop-motion armature and they affixed actuators and hooked them up digitally to the computer. So the animators did their traditional work of moving it slightly different frame by frame over a very long period of time. The only difference was the armature wasn't skinned and furred photographically.